Sally. Okay, remember that means parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, add or subtract. Okay, now the key things I want you to see here that really is not a part of the acronym is the or. Okay, when we say multiplication or division, okay, it doesn't mean that you do all the multiplication in the problem and then come back and do all the division in the problem. It means as I'm moving from my left to right, okay, as I'm moving from left to right in the problem, I do either division or multiplication, whichever symbol I come into first, okay? So, for example, if I had this problem here, let me see if I can find one with multiplication and division. Okay, nope, I can't. So I'm going to have to make one up on my own. All right, let's look at this. Let's say I had 2 divided by 2 plus 2 times 2. Okay, fairly simplistic problem. Yes, Larry? Yes, you may. All right, so if I had that problem there, as you can tell, we have division here and multiplication here. So if you just went by the rule that I do multiplication, then division, then you would have to do the multiplication at the end. But like I said, that's not what the rule states. The rule states that I do multiplication or division as I'm moving from the left to the right. So there's left to right. So as I'm going then, I'm going to do the 2 divided by 2 first. And what is 2 divided by 2? Nick? 1. Obviously, fairly simplistic. It's 1. Okay? So now I write the rest of the problem, which this is where most of you will have struggles. Most of you are going to try to do these problems in your head, and you're going to mess it up. You're going to mess up. Okay? Because you're going to do something, you're going to see something. You need to rewrite the problem every time you do a step. Okay, let me repeat that. You need to rewrite the problem every time you complete a step. And then you always need to go back to the left of the problem. Don't try to pick stuff out in the middle. Don't try to pick stuff at the end, but you always go left to right. Okay? So, in this problem, 1 plus 2 times 2, what would be our next step? Caleb? 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is what? 4. Okay? It's 4, so therefore, the rest of my problem I write down, I have 1 plus 4. Okay? Obviously, that would be 5. Okay? So that's a simplistic example to just show you what we're going to be doing. Now, remember, parentheses, okay, parentheses are grouping symbols. Okay? The different types of grouping symbols are parentheses, brackets, and then the division bar. Okay? Or the fraction bar. Okay, and we'll get into some of those examples here in just a second. Okay? All right, let's look at another example. This one's coming actually out of the book. Okay? Here's what I've got. 10 divided by, parentheses, 3 plus 2 plus 9. Okay, do that problem. Do that problem using the order of operation. Raise your hand when you have the answer. All right. What'd you get, Caleb? 11. That is correct. Now, what do we do first? 11 is the correct answer. What do we do first, Michael?
Add 3 plus 2.
Okay, we add 3 plus 2 because it's in the parentheses. So that gives us 10 divided by 5 plus 9. Okay, what's next? Zach? Okay, so we're going to divide 5 into 10, which is right there on the left side, and that gives us what? 2. So that gives us 2 plus 9 as I rewrite the problem. 2 plus 9 is what, Brianna? 11. Good. Okay, so that's 11. Now, look at a harder one. Really not harder, it just has a step you may not be sure of. Then let's look at this one. 1/3 times 9 times 3 in parentheses plus 18. Okay? Obviously, we do parentheses first. So, Larry, what is in the parentheses? And what is 9 times 3? 27. So I have 1/3 times 27 plus 18. Okay, one of the reasons we did that review assignment yesterday is because I saw some of these fractions in here, so I wanted to sort of refresh us what we do when we multiply fractions. Nick, what do I do next? In the problem, 1/3 times 27 plus 18, what do I do next? Okay, and what is 1/3 times 27? Brandon, help him out. 9. It is 9. Okay, the reason it is 9 is because you have 1/3 times 27 over 1. Okay, here you can cross cancel. 27, 3 goes into 27 9 times, 3 goes into 3 once, and so that's 1 times 9, which is 9, plus 18. Okay, because I have to bring the 18 down to our problem. Okay, so what is 9 plus 18? Matt Shelton. What? Help him out, Chris. 27. Thank you. He got a little carried away and went too fast there. All right. Now, let's look at a little bit more difficult one in this sense that it's just got a bunch of brackets and parentheses. Let's look at this problem here. Let's go brackets 10 plus parentheses 5 squared times 2, close bracket, divided by 6. Whoa. Let me go back down to it. Divided by 6. Okay? That's problem number 34 for those of you who might be keeping track. All right. So, what do we do first here? Brandon. Do what? Yeah, why do we do the exponent first? No. I mean, yes, we do the exponent first, but why do we do it first, Caleb? Right. We've got to look at this, the bracket first. Then once we move inside the bracket, then we have a parentheses. So then once you go inside the parentheses, we have to do the exponent first. Okay? And so, Brandon, what is 5 squared? 25. So we're going to have 25 right here. Now, once again, this is where a lot of you will mess up because you won't rewrite the problem. You'll try to just do it all in your head, okay? Not necessarily a bad thing, but you can make careless mistakes that way. So as I rewrite this problem, that gives me bracket 10 plus parentheses 25 times 2, close parentheses, divided by 6. Okay, so now what do I do next? Matt Shelton. So we do the 25 times 2, which is the parentheses. And what is 25 times 2? 50. Okay. now we've taken care of our parentheses, so now we're just down to the bracket. We still have to do the bracket before we do anything else. Obviously, there's no way to do anything else because of the bracket, okay? So, Michael Grubbs, what do we get when we get 10 plus 50? 60. So we have 60 divided by 6. Now our bracket is gone. So we don't have to worry about the bracket. And so we get our final step, which is what, Brianna? 6 into 60, and what is that? 10. Okay, that's 10. The reason it's 10 is because the 6 is on the outside of the bracket, the 60 is on the inside of the bracket, of your division bracket. Okay? And so 10 would be your answer. Obviously, you need to circle that. All right. Everybody look at problem number 37. Okay, look at problem number 37 and do it. Okay, problem number 37. And I am going to tell you that you will end up with something that's not a whole number. Okay? So don't panic if you come up with something that's not a whole number. All right. The problem is 2.5 times 0.5 squared divided by 5. So, who has an answer for me? Brianna. 0.125. Good. The answer is 0.125. Okay? Let's look at why it's that. Okay? The first thing that we have to do is 0.5 squared. Okay? That's the first thing we have to do. So when we have 0.5 squared, that is 0.5 times 0.5. Okay? Well, 5 times 5 is 25. I have 2 decimal places, so I have to move it 2 places. So that gives me 2.5 times 0.25 divided by 5. Okay? Now, what we have to do next then is we have to take and do the 2.5 times 0.25. So, that is this. Okay, 2.5 times 0.25, that's 5, carry my 2, 12, bring down my 0, 0, 5. So that's 625, and I have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So that's going to give me 0.625 divided by 5. Okay, once again, the reason that's, you got to move it 3 places to the left. Okay, that's how we got 0.625. So that gives me this, 5 into 0.625. Now, there's no decimal on the outside of the division bracket, so I don't do anything. I don't have to move the decimal. Okay, so that gives me 1, bring down the 2, 2, be 10, bring down the 2, so it's 25, that gives me 5. So 0.125. Okay? All right, everybody go to the board. Okay? Get on your board space.